fresh out of practice. Uh, report number 2. So, so I did my illness report on diabetes. I chose diabetes because I have several members in my family who has had diabetes. My grandfather who passed away, he didn't pass away from diabetes, but he had diabetes. My grandmother is borderline diabetes. Um, my uncle, he actually has diabetes, and we try to get him to do the right thing at all times, which he doesn't, but basically diabetes, what happens when your body doesn't produce enough insulin that it needs, resulting in that, the give you high blood pressure, you start feeling sick, anything of that nature. There are many symptoms that, you could watch out for, or if you have any questions or anything of that, you can ask your doctor. But there are many symptoms when it comes down to diabetes. Just to give you a couple of examples, you might be extremely thirsty, you might go to the bathroom a lot, drowsiness, sudden weight loss, sudden vision change. I remember my granddad, he had some vision problems. That was before we found out that he had diabetes. Actually, it was type 2, I want to say. But my granddad had frequent vision loss, and my uncle actually, he sleeps pretty rough, and my mom actually think it has something to do with the diabetes, but he says it doesn't. If you're witnessing those problems, you should really go see a doctor. The treatments for diabetes, are pretty much simple as can be. People with diabetes, type 1, they inject their fingers with the insulin into their body several times a day. You can prick your finger to check your blood sugar to make sure that nothing's crazy going on. If it's something crazy going on with your blood sugar, maybe it's too high or too low, maybe take your medicine, or just try to take a rest or chill out for a couple of hours. But people, you can get on a good diet, start exercising a lot. Just try to watch what you eat at all times. The prognosis of diabetes, well, as long as a person, with diabetes manages it correctly, as far as, he's taking care of himself, he's just not eating all the wrong stuff, he actually cares about his diabetes and everything, to try to make sure that he's safe and healthy. Some people just, get diabetes and just think, oh, it's okay, it's cool, I'll take my medicine and it'll be fine. But at the same time, the medicine only can do so much. You have to, do stuff on your own to make sure that you're healthy, to make sure your own self healthy. Eating right, working out, stop the bad habits that you might have that got you to diabetes in the first place, whether it's from drugs to alcohol, anything in that nature that, all the old stuff you were doing before you got the diabetes. Just make sure you try to cancel all that out. Also, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna start feeling, sick. I remember my uncle. We kept telling him, you gotta take care of yourself and all this diabetes talk. Yeah, he heard it. Then he started feeling sick, and he wondered why he started feeling sick. He so then once he started taking care of himself, he felt himself, start feeling better. He had more energy versus to when he wasn't taking care of himself and he was still doing the same stuff that he did when he first got the diabetes. You know, he was feeling bad all the time. Always laying down, always drowsy again. So the certain impacts that diabetes can have on someone, you know, I personally think that if you're working out, getting into shape, eating proper foods, all the fruit, vegetables, nothing too crazy. I personally think that you'll be fine. Like take my uncle for example. Like I said, that he had diabetes, and once he started doing what he was supposed to do, checking on his blood level daily, eating right, working out, he was pretty much fine. So I say that coming from off of experience and what I went through with my uncle and my granddad with the diabetes, and sometimes it takes that motivation or that communication to talk to them and let them know like I'm with you, or you got to do this, you got to do that. you know just pretty much just stand in their ear about the diabetes, because they may think that it's not that big of a deal, but diabetes, it's a disease, and some people die from diabetes. Not many, but it's about, I probably say about 15% people die from diabetes each year. Like I said, my grandmother is borderline diabetes, so now we're trying to just focus on her, getting her to eat right, eat healthy, eat proper. Common experiences with people with diabetes, weight loss, sorry, loss of weight, increasing appetite, just being very thirsty at all times. Um, Diabetes can put, a lot of stress on someone, especially if, it's their first time, and they have to get used to, just eating different, especially if a person, loves fast food, loves all the fried food, and you give them this plate, and for instance, it's not seasoned or it's not seasoned enough. Like that's kind of stressful, because they're gonna feel like they don't have to eat it because they don't like it. But what they're used to is, all the seasoned and all the stuff that got them diabetes. So it's gonna be pretty tough, and that's where your family members come into play at, and help them with that, so that way they can get used to, eating healthier, working out, and all that nature versus doing the old stuff. Once they get used to doing that, then it should be pretty cool. Um, like I said, just communication, just communication with, your whoever your family member is that has diabetes. It can help out a lot, especially to them know that you're in their corner. So that's gonna motivate them to, keep themselves healthy, just to make sure that nothing bad happens, they don't get sick or anything. I actually had a friend who had diabetes, and I was younger. We played little league basketball together, and he carried his insulin around with him. He used to eat a lot of fast foods, and he really didn't do anything. Um, and I used to notice all the time, he would be real sick. And I didn't know until my mom told me, he had diabetes, but he wasn't taking his medicine properly. He wasn't eating right, and part was his mom's fault because he was younger, so he didn't really know. once you get diabetes, your health provider starts giving you all this medicine. They start talking to you, giving you all this information about diabetes. They're pretty much gonna talk to you about it and give you the information that to help you to stay healthy while you have diabetes. They're doing that, so they can limit your sickness. Just pretty much limit everything.